Hey guys, Lou here. Sorry you've not heard from me for a few days. I've been busy having lots of birthday fun with my little guy. What I'm going to talk to you about today is carbs and fats, because it's something that comes up a lot when I'm talking to girls on the phone or when my girls are coming into work with me for the first time. Carbs and fats aren't necessarily something to be scared of. When it comes to food, it's always about eating foods at the right time and in the right way. So if we start with carbs, carbs don't need to be taken out of your diet completely necessarily when you're wanting to lose weight. But the difference is that you need to be eating clean carbs and you need to be cycling them at the right times depending on what your training is, etc. So it's common when I speak to people that they don't realise that things like breads, like pasta, are processed carbs, cereals, that are carbs that you just want to keep away with. I'm on a massive philosophy that if it's not natural, it doesn't go in my mouth. So basically, if it doesn't grow on the earth, or if it doesn't walk the earth, I'm actually vegetarian, so I no longer eat things that walk the earth, but it gives you the point, I don't touch it. So things that have had to be made and processed are carbs that I would really strongly advise keeping away from. So your cereals, and even cereals that promote that they're for weight loss, they're still carb based, they're still process based, they're still not good for your body. So you want to be taking out of those out of your diet. What I usually say to my ladies, if they're having a cheat and it's things they're really struggling to part with, use them as a cheat. But for health wise, I keep them out of my diet completely. But for example, if you're a pasta lover, get the best type of pasta and have it for a cheat meal. But carbs are not the enemy as long as they're eaten properly, guys. And clean carbs are things like your quinoa, like couscous, butternut squash, sweet potato. There is actually a wide range of clean carbs out there that you can eat, that you can do wonderful things with. In fact, if you get interacting with me and you're not sure what to do with some of these clean carbs, especially sweet potato, I can do a few videos showing you exactly how to cook them, because sweet potato is one of those amazing foods that you can do so much with. But when it comes to carbs, you don't want to be eating them your body weight in carbs all the time. The best time if you're training to have carbs is actually straight after a weight-based workout, and I'm talking as soon as you're finished. And the best kind of carb to have is, for example, maybe like a rice cracker with some jam. What you do want to make sure is that it's carb on carb and it's not carb on fat. So I see a lot of people that might be walking away with a rice cracker in their hand with jam, with peanut butter. This is the second time this morning I've nearly said but, because Lawson calls peanut butter but, and it's ingrained in my mind now. And I said to one of my clients this morning, but, she's like, what are you talking about? Sorry, if I ever refer to that, that's what I mean. Yeah, you don't want to be having like a rice cracker and a peanut butter, because then you've got fats and carbs together and it converts to fats quicker. So you want it carb on carb, and that's straight after your workout. So that's like your guilt-free time, I suppose, that you can have carbs. But you want to cycle your carbs, and I'm not going to go into that in too much depth, but it is something that you want to look at. So like I say, carbs are all about eating them at the right times, but one of the best times to have them is straight after your workout, and cycling your carbs depending on your training. But that depends on your training program, so I can't go into too much depth on that, but I should give you a bit of an idea. But keeping them clean is the main point. Now, fats are not to be frightened of. If you are on a low carb diet, so most people, if you are looking to lose body fat, you will be bringing those carbs down slightly. If you're cycling them, they'll be higher some weeks and a lot lower other weeks. When your carbs are brought down, you actually want to bring your fats up the way. And a lot of people are scared of fats because of what they've heard in the media in the past, but you don't need to be scared of fats if they're clean. So if you're eating the likes of eggs, nut butters, I'm joking, nut butters, avocados, they are all clean fats that are amazing for your body, but you got to bring the carb content down before you start putting a lot of fats in. So for example, in my training at the moment is ketogenic, so I'm very, very low carb, and so I up my fats and I eat a lot of nut butters, I eat a lot of eggs to make up for it. And you really don't need to be scared of them. And it's amazing how many people, I've did a couple of videos with food where I've maybe put sour cream in or creme fraiche in, and people are like, oh God, get half fat. Actually, stay full fat. Okay, half fat's way worse, and usually there's something processed being put in it. Stay with full fat. There's nothing wrong with full fat. It's actually better for you, and it's not something you need to be scared of at all. But generally, when we're looking at weight loss, we are usually looking at lowering the carbs and cycling them, and when the carbs are lower, we're bringing the fat content up slightly. And it's all about levels, and hence why usually you need a trainer in the beginning just to kind of help you understand what you should be eating and when. But in general, they're foods that you really don't need to be scared of at all. And I can go in a bit more depth at some point on them. I just wanted to put something up because today, as I say, there's been a few ladies I've spoke to who have kind of said, oh, can I eat this? It's got a lot of fat in it. And they're on their no carb week. So I was like, well, yeah, of course, because you want to get your fats up. You don't need to be scared of those fats. I've also spoke to a few people who have told me about their diet, and that, you know, there's a lot of cereals in there, there's a lot of breads in there, and I'm afraid to say that they're the foods that are making the fat cling to you. It's basically as simple as that. You want to get rid of all those kind of carbs, and you want to go clean. And I'm a massive pro, and I know I keep saying this in all my videos, but I'm a massive advocate on just being clean with your eating. Give up the processed food. Those of you who are really feeling unhappy in your body, get rid of the processed food, because not only will you start to feel more amazing mentally, but your body will start to respond to you and like you more. Even simple things like your skin will start to change, because processed food has got so much gunk in it. Half the time we don't even know what we're putting in our mouths. You know, if you read the back of things that are processed on the labels, it starts off with things that you recognise, and then you start to see all these other crazy words that you can't even pronounce. And my philosophy always is with the client, if you can't read it, don't put it in your mouth, because it's something that probably the human body shouldn't be having. But yeah, I suppose cereal's one that's kind of got to me recently, because it's one that we feed to our kids as well, and I'm totally anti-cereal, if I'm honest, because it's so processed. And usually your cereals has got a lot of carb and a lot of sugar and fats in there as well, so you've got everything mixed into one. So yeah, keep it clean. If you're unsure about breakfast ideas, taking out cereals, I have got a video that gives you some ideas on clean breakfasts and snacks somewhere in my video library. If you can't find it, let me know. I can do another one on breakfast, because I know that's something a lot of people struggle with. But hopefully this has helped. It's just a small video. I didn't want to go into too much depth, but let's just recap. So if we're looking to lose some body fat, we need to look at carb cycling. We need to bring those carbs down. We need to swap them from processed to clean. So just reminding you, your processed carbs are like the ones that have had to be mixed together. So your breads and your pastas, you want to be changing them for clean carbs. So you want to go with brown rice, with sweet potatoes, with nut butters. What am I on with my nut butters today? Butternut squash, I meant to say. Couscous, quinoa, things that are completely healthy and their carbs you can do a lot with. If you want me to show you how to spice up and sexy up some of those carbs, you've got to interact with me, and you've got to let me know that you want me to do that. And remember that you don't need to be scared of those fats. If the carbs are coming down, the fats are going up. So your healthy fats are things like eggs, avocados, nut butters. When I say nut butters, guys, I'm not talking about peanut butter that you buy in a supermarket, which is full of sugars and all things not wonderful. I'm talking about natural nut butters. One of my favourites is cashew nut butter, and there's some fab places where you can get them. Health food shops you can get them, but generally there's a few places online that sell nut butters. That Maggie Smith saying yes please. Maggie, is that to me giving you some ideas on how to sexy up your carbs? I'm waiting for a reply. I'll keep going until you reply. I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, so yeah, your healthy fats I was talking about. So you've got your nut butters, and I was talking about basically that you can go to your health food shops. Generally, health food shops are a bit more expensive. However, I'm not anti health food shops. I get a lot of stuff from there. But generally, there's a few great places online where I would usually go for my nut butters. And nut butters is something we have in our house all the time. My little guy loves nut butter, loves it. And if you're getting the right stuff, it's great stuff to have. And as I say, nut butter is one of my main snacks, especially when I'm ketogenic, which is when I'm no carb, and I use my nut butter to snack on. A lot of people snack on it with celery. Celery is something I just can't face, but one of the only foods I can't face. But I just take a spoonful off the spoon, and that's me, off I go. Remember with your carbs that the very best time, a really important time, is if you're weight training, to have it straight after your weight training along with your protein shake. But remember, carb on carb, you don't want carbs and fats together we don't want to reverse all the hard work that we've just done. So it's just a short video. So Maggie's saying yes, so I'll get on that. I'll maybe try do a couple of variations of sweet potato for you. Sweet potato is so easy to work with, and it's something that I actually don't like it boiled, so that's why I get a bit creative with it. There's a few great recipes that I can do with that, so I'll get on that at some point for you. Has anyone else got any questions about carbs and fats before I go? Or are we okay? Have I covered it all? And I've done it basically. I could have gone into really fancy terms, but I find that it just confuses people, and then they come back and ask me questions anyway. So I thought today I would just bring it right down, simple terms. So that's the truth about carbs and fats. Don't be scared of them. Use them properly. Get rid of the processed stuff out of your cupboards. One of these days I'm going to show you my cupboards. There's nothing processed in there at all. Everything is vegetables, herbs. As I say, I'm vegetarian, so I don't have any meats now, but my proteins come from eggs and fish, so pescatarian technically. But there's nothing processed in there. It's very, very rare I'll eat anything processed, just for the fact that it freaks me out what I'm putting in my body if it's not completely clean. And that's generally my mission, to kind of get through everyone, because at the end of the day, if you're a mum and you're watching this, it's really important to me that my little guy eats the best of everything. I've discussed before, he's an okay eater and he's used to eating healthy. However, we're going through the peanut butter sandwich stage at the moment. However, I make sure that it's the best I can find. I have a local baker that gives me really great bread that's not shop bread that's full of rubbish, and he has like organic natural peanut butter and things. However, that's not a forever for him. He's going to be what's corn, Louise? Do you mean what's quinoa? I think that's maybe what you mean. So you can buy that in the supermarkets, and it's just like a natural. You mean corn? Corn. So that's probably for a different video. Corn would be a protein. Corn would be a protein that's vegetarian. I don't touch this stuff. I hate it. I'm a massive believer. I actually gluten and yeast intolerant. So I used to always go in the philosophy, I'm not supposed to eat it, I'm not even going to try and replace it. And I'm kind of like that with my meats. The only vegetarian meat replacement I've found that I like, there is some sausages, burgers that Linda, forget her name, the famous Linda, makes them. They're the only ones I like, but generally I don't eat them. But yeah, they're okay. Just make sure you get the right kind. I'm getting summoned at the corner of my eye here because I've got a call coming up. I can do something on that if you're a vegetarian, on what kind of things to stay away from. But yeah, as long as they're your protein, they'd be a protein source, but just watch what you're buying with them. Right guys, I'm going to have to go. Hopefully this has helped. Any questions, pop them below, especially if it's something else you want in another video. I'm more than happy to get on with it, but this was just nice, short and simple to try and help you out a little bit. Catch you later guys.